This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We are live in Abuja. I'm Hawa Salihu Adama. Thanks for joining us. A gentle reminder that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. We start with anti-corruption matters today as the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdulrashid Bawa, has described the recent policy decision to redesign the nation's currency as not only significant, but a critical pathway towards eliminating corruption as well as achieving sanity and stability in the economy. This was while addressing journalists after briefing President Muhammadu Buhari on the activities of the anti-graft agency. The Pension Transition and Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, says it has so far paid a monthly pension of 610 billion naira to pensioners between January 2015 and December 2021. Executive Secretary of the Directorate, Chioma Ejikeme, said that these are the 58th edition of the State House press briefing. In what she described as changing the narrative, the Executive Secretary of the Directorate stated that the Directorate has, since its 9 years of existence, put in place adequate measures to capture every pensioner in the country, among which is the I'm Alive Pensioners Initiative.
So, what do? Do we continue to bring them on the verification exercises to the field? So, PTAD decided to key in on technology. And we have launched the pilot phase of the I'm Alive confirmation solution. And this is a web-based solution that will enable a pensioner confirm his aliveness in the comfort of his home or in his environment using a smartphone or a computer system. So we have launched that initiative. We've done the pilot scheme of 50,000 pensioners, and that has successfully been concluded.
The Executive Secretary also added that the Directorate has also paid long-standing arrears to pensioners across all pension departments and huge arrears inherited from the defunct privatized agency. Nigeria and France have held strategic discussions to enhance bilateral cooperation on security, infrastructural development, and putting in place mechanisms to ease regular migration. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, reaffirmed Nigeria's position on several issues when he received French parliamentarians at the ministry in the nation's capital. Garba Natala completes the report.
3 French senators were on official tour to Nigeria with the French ambassador to Nigeria, Emmanuel Bladman, as their spokesperson, aimed at promoting legislative and global diplomatic relations. Discussion with the Minister of Foreign Affairs focused on a series of issues facing the country, particularly in safeguarding the waterways of the Gulf of Guinea region to improve global trade and investment.
There's a G5, Group 5 of Sahelian countries. They're all French-speaking countries. And of course, we have the Multinational Joint Task Force. So I think the France and Nigeria, we have a real interest in coming together and working more closely together and in fighting terrorism.
The minister prioritized good governance as critical for positive outcomes to achieve mutually beneficial areas for both countries.
And as we know now, it's a big issue in Europe, irregular migration. There are large numbers of Nigerians also who are involved in irregular migration, and it comes with a lot of criminality, human trafficking, and so forth. So we also have to work. We're working closely with the European Union, and I think France also has an important role to play in that.
The French senators recalled the existing bilateral ties between France and Nigeria, stating efforts made by the EU countries to help developing countries cope with the current increasing cost of food prices as a result of the Russia-Ukraine crisis. All parties have expressed readiness to explore more opportunities for a better bilateral cooperation. In Abuja, Garb Muhammad Atala, NTA News.
Still on bilateral relations, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration of Ghana has retracted the travel advisory it earlier issued on the security situation in Abuja. The Ghanaian government had advised its citizens against non-essential travels to Abuja due to insecurity rumor on the nation's capital city. However, in a swift reaction, the country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration retracted, saying it is not aware of any security threat targeted at Ghanaians who continue to live in harmony with their Nigerian brothers and sisters. The ministry expresses regret at the earlier advisory. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has assured members of Nollywood of government's continued support to grow the industry. The minister stated this at a day set aside for members of the industry to interface with delegates of the UNWTO Global Conference in Lagos. Anthony Fonsen completes the report.
Back to back, from the pioneer producer of Nollywood movies, they chronicled the history of the industry, recounting the journey so far.
All of us were whiling away our time doing nothing. Some of us also who believed in the industry and waited for it decided that there must be something. It's either we keep waiting and hoping someday when a Messiah will come to change our lives or change the industry for us, or waiting for God to just do a miracle and something will happen so that we can be employed.
An elated delegates headed by the Secretary General of the United Nations World Tourism Organization gave Nollywood a path on the back with these reassuring words.
To have a roadmap how to use cinema, this creative industry, these creative people, again, the same, to show African culture, to export African culture, and the movie and cinema is the best ambassador and instrument for it. Movie and gastronomy and cinema are the big part of culture today, and let's use it.
For Lai Mohammed, it is work in progress. Going forward, he said,
it shows the resourcefulness, the ingenuity of Nigerians, and that's why anywhere I am, I'm proud to be a Nigerian. You simply can't beat us. So we will continue as a government to try our best to help the industry. But make no mistake about it. Anywhere in the world, the creative industry is always one step ahead of government.
A Day with Nollywood is part of the programs lined up for the United Nations World Tourism Organization's maiden global conference on linking tourism, culture, and the creative industries, pathways to recovery and inclusive development. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, delegates to the UNWTO Global Conference have been treated to a gala night and command performance. Here again is Anthony Forsen.
After a brainstorming session, the delegates settled for a special command performance spiced with music. Awards were given to outstanding performance in the tourism, culture, and creative industry.
Very much happy for our Argungu International Fishing and Cultural Festival to go to this higher stage of the highest recognition from the World Tourism Organization.
It's an acknowledgement that our cultural festival is well appreciated in Nigeria and beyond Nigeria.
For Information and Culture Minister and the Secretary General of the United Nations World Tourism Organization, it couldn't have been better than this, being the maiden edition.
I also want to thank all our experts who took part in our workshops and everybody who in one way or the other has contributed in making our first ever global conference on tourism, culture, and creative industry a success.
To all Nigerian families, first of all, peace, prosperity, health, wealth, all the best. And again, to thank dear hosts dear Minister, dear Big Brother for all of us, and to all Nigerian hosts to make this wonderful evening. And you took really in Nigerian wedding, I would say. It's really amazing, and to show us the best of your country, the best of the culture of your country.
In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And still staying in Lagos, Michael is on standby in our network center there. Michael, is over to you.
2 hour. Lagos State High Court sitting in Tafawa Balewa Square has again adjourned to January 11, 2023. The case on the alleged murder of Super TV boss, late Yusufu Ataga. The prime suspect, Chidinma Ojukwu, made fresh revelation denying her involvement in Ataga's death, claiming statements presented to court were written and signed under duress. Dana Ajali reports.
At the resumed hearing, the prime suspect, Chidinma Ojukwu, narrated her side of the story when she was cross-examined by the prosecuting counsel, Oluwafemi Adenike. She told the court that she did not know anything about the death of Yusufu Ataga, noting that the 3 purported statements were written and signed by her and presented before the court were done under duress. The accused person further told the court that she was made to write and sign the statements by 3 police officers while feeling unwell on the day the statements were written. This is coming after 2 police officers, as witnesses, denied the allegation made by the accused counsel that the accused person was forced to write and sign the statements on June 24, 2022. Justice Yetunde Adesanya has, however, adjourned the case to January 11, 2023 for further hearing. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Satellite operations play a crucial role in ensuring national security, seamless communication, among other benefits. Experts at a conference on satellite spectrum management in Lagos suggest that the success recorded in Nigeria can get better by collaborating with other African countries. Annie Daniels has details.
The importance of satellite operation to a country, these experts say, cannot be overemphasized, especially as a niche market with over $25 billion value.
What matters is for it to work, because there are some remote areas that communications cannot get to, but satellites can get to those areas. Whatever we do to enhance that or to make that work in our country is welcome development.
This Learning and Development Conference is therefore put together to exchange views on issues of policy, regulations, operations, challenges and prospects.
It is not a one-day journey, it is a journey, because presently the President Minister has drawn up a program 2020 to 2025. You understand? Are we going to, as Nigerians, continue to implement that? Are we going to build on it and improve on it?
It is actually going to save us a lot. And we now have people that we speak the same language, we're nearby. We can tailor whatever we need to our own needs, not necessarily what is dumped on us from outside.
There are some African countries who are thinking of launching their own satellite, just like Nigeria has done. There's a reason why they're doing that, because they're finding out that the need is there, the demand is there.
The key issue now for satellite industry, these experts say, is spectrum, even as the mobile industry is encroaching more into the spectrum used for satellite, and that for good reasons. More so, collaboration amongst players, including African countries, they say, is needed to avoid duplication. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages, and when we return, Nationwide continues from Abuja Network Center with Hawa.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) hereby informs the general public that the preliminary register of voters will be displayed for public scrutiny in all registration areas, wards, nationwide from Saturday 12th to Friday 18th November 2022. The preliminary register of voters will also be displayed on the Commission's official website. INEC will address the claims, objections, and complaints arising from the public scrutiny of the register at registration areas, wards from Saturday 12th to Friday 18th November 2022, and at INEC local government offices from Saturday 19th to Friday 25th November 2022. All registered voters are advised to cross-check their details in the register. Any voter whose name and personal particulars are incorrect can file a claim. Furthermore, the public can file objections against any name wrongfully included in the register. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
All roads will lead to the ancient rocky town of Kazaure in Jigawa State for the turbaning of the state chief of protocol to President Muhammadu Buhari, Ambassador Lawal Abdullahi as the Dammasane Kazaure. The experienced diplomat is to be turbaned following the honor done him by the Emir of Kazaure, Alhaji Najib Hussaini Adamu, with the exalted title of Dammasane. Ambassador Kazaure is to assume the position this Friday, 18th November 2022, at the Emir's Palace at 11 o'clock in the morning, in line with tradition of the Emirates. It will be a double celebration for the diplomat as he also gives out the hands of his daughter, Hafsa, in marriage to Ibrahim Tijani Ibrahim on the same day.
Is that the Buhari-led administration has made remarkable progress,
like Lafia Transmission Station nearing completion.
Africa does not need charity, but partnerships that will promote the adequate investment
with the cooperation of all.
Sharing firsthand the experiences of reporters on the field as they bring to you weekly the beauty of Nigeria's diverse culture and the economic potentials therein. The Correspondence, development through the eye of the grassroots, showing every Monday at 1:30 p.m. on the network service of the NTA, with a repeat broadcast on NTA News 24 and NTA International. Join us.
Daria Media, in association with Cabal Entertainment, presents The Candidate, a presidential town hall meeting series where the presidential candidates of the 6 leading political parties tell us about their plans for the country. Join Kadaria Ahmed as she leads us into the world of these candidates from the 17th to the 23rd of November 2022. This very important program will be streamed on FRCN, Radio Now, DSTV, NTA, Facebook, YouTube, and more. This is a town hall meeting you shouldn't miss. Tune in. Let's hear from the candidates.
Thanks for rejoining us. It's nationwide on the network service of the NTA. To security matters now, a notorious bandit leader, Kachala Gudau, has been neutralized by the Nigerian army troops at Kankomi village in Kaduna State. A statement by the Special Advisor on Security to the Kaduna State Governor, Samuel Aruwan, indicates that the bandit and his gang have been implicated in kidnappings and killings in Chikum, Kashia, and Kajuru in Kaduna State. He, alongside his lieutenant, Rijimame, were eliminated by the gallant troops. Kachala's remains were recovered from the forest where he fled to with his bullet wounds. And troops have recovered an INEC biodata capturing machine, arms and military uniforms from hideouts of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and the Eastern Security Network, ESN, in Amangu, or Hafia local government area of Abia State. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this was announced at the Defense Media Operations Briefing in Abuja.
It's another Defense Media Operations Briefing, and top is the rescue of 66 kidnapped victims, mostly from the northern region, and the recovery of INEC facilities from IPOB Den in Abia State.
Troop raided another indigenous people of Biafra and Eastern Security Network hideout at Amagun local government area. During the firefight, troops neutralized 2 criminals while others fled. Following the operations, 3 AK-47 rifle, 4 pump-action guns, 2 locally made pistols, 2 pairs of camouflage uniform, 2 camouflage jungle hats, 1 INEC image capturing machine and 1 INEC box, and 2 motorcycles, among other items.
29 criminal syndicates sabotaging the nation's oil resources in the Niger Delta region apprehended, while 44 illegal refining sites deactivated by troops of Operation Delta Safe.
The air component of Operation Delta Safe conducted a series of air mission operations within the Joint Operational Area Zone. The air component conducted air interdiction operation at Aba Cheke on an identified illegal refining site where significant human activities were confirmed. Consequently, the target was engaged and destroyed.
On the movement of armored personnel carrier in the Federal Capital Territory, the Director of Defense Media Operations stressed that the platforms are on routine patrol. From the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And we are not done with security matters, as the Nigerian police force and other security agencies are prepared to identify, apprehend and bring any political actor and their foot soldiers engaging in violence at political rallies to justice. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, said these at a meeting with representatives of the 18 political parties at the force headquarters. Francis Form has that.
It is a meeting between the Nigeria Police Force, other security agencies, and representatives of the 18 political parties. Since the official commencement of campaigns for the 2023 general elections on the 28th September 2022, about 52 cases of politically motivated intra- and inter-party violence has been recorded across 22 states of the Federation.
We have been receiving reports of some state governors who encourage political talk and subnational security outfits under their control.
Worried by this development, the IGP convened this meeting with the aim of engaging political parties' leadership on the new trends of political violence and present a common front in addressing it in the overriding interest of national security and democracy.
The Nigeria Police, working in collaboration with all other security agencies, including the military, have resolved to 1. Enhance intelligence gathering, sharing and utilization of SAIL to stand up to political violence. 2. Upscale the deployment of security teams to all INEC assets and facilities nationwide. 3. Take decisive local action against forebears of hate speech, incitement to violence, mobilization of tasks, and other violations, including the prompt arrest, investigation and prosecution of offenders in line with the provisions of Section 92 and 93 of the Electoral Act as amended.
The security agencies have resolved to take firm action that will deter targeted attacks on INEC assets across the country. Francis from NTA News.
The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has granted audience to the presidential candidate of the Accord Party, Professor Christopher Imumuelen. The leadership of the Christian body says the platform is to afford political parties opportunity to relate with Nigerians on sanctity of their intentions, which revolve around unity, peace and prosperity of the country. The presidential candidate of the Accord Party appreciates the platform and promised to unite Nigerians regardless of the diversity, while putting the country on the right trajectory for meaningful development.
If you are going to look at it based on region, let's say 6Y, what is done to one must be done to all. If truly as a country, we must have a country that all will believe in.
Christopher Imumuelen says his party will pay attention to religious harmony, empowerment and all the critical sectors of the economy. Still staying with politics, the All Progressives Congress Deputy National Women Leader Zainab Abdul Kadri has commended the Jigawa State government for its women-friendly policies that will easily sell the party in the 2023 general elections. She started this in Dutse while inaugurating the Women Initiative for Family Economy. Awal Mohammed Kazauri completes the report.
Women Initiative for Family Economy was introduced to bring development closer to the women and also convert support for APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Deputy National Women Leader Zainab Abdelkader said she was impressed with the level of development in the state, especially as it affects the women folk.
Our principal, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a he for she. That means he works with women and he likes working with women. I assure women that we are going to have so many seats for women in the cabinet.
We have our PVC cards, and you can see vividly there, it was asked that many women should show their voting at the card. But many of them brought it out and they show it. So we are good mobilizers and we draw issue of election.
The wife of the state governor, Hajia Magajia Badaru Abubakar, also graced the occasion. Awal Muhammad Kazauri, NTA News.
The Securities and Exchange Commission has appealed to the Senate for its legislative support on the proposed amendment of the Commissions Act. This was when the Director General, Securities and Exchange Commission, Lamido Yugudo, appeared before the Senate for the 2023 budget defense. National Assembly correspondent Mobolaji Mori-Birin completes the report.
As the 2023 budget defense by MDAs gradually winds down, the Securities and Exchange Commission is appearing before the Senate Committee on Capital Markets to give account on its budgetary performance.
In terms of the amendment to the ISA and where we think it is going to generate more money, which is essentially trying to give the SEC, certain more powers. Okay, also removing certain sections of the ISA that now are performed by another regulator, the FCC.
The committee reminds the Commission of its role of generating the much-needed revenue for government and assure the Commission of its continuous legislative support.
Under the assumption 4.4, but these assumptions, I will call them turnaround assumptions. These are the assumptions that will really turn around the fortune of SEC.
You have to encourage them to also, issue, this projectile bond so that, all this kind of, project can crop up and that can develop, your capital market.
My advice is that you should look into areas of improving on what you've been doing.
The committee also considered the 2023 budget proposal of the Investment and Securities Tribunal. From the National Assembly, Mobolaji Mori-Birin, NTA News.
Open governance policy has been the slogan of the current administration in Kebbi State. Consequently, the State Ministry for Budget and Economic Planning, in collaboration with the Open Governance Partnership, organized a town hall meeting. Usman Abdullahi reports that the meeting is to intimate the public on expectations from the state budgetary spending for 2023.
It has become the tradition of the incumbent administration in Kebbi State to organize occasions like this every year as a deliberate effort to ensure stakeholders and the general public involvement in the state budgetary appropriations. Before its presentation to the State House of Assembly, the state governor, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, who appreciated stakeholders' effort towards developing policies to improve the state, describing last 7 years' economic development as horrendous because of the economic realities occasioned by recession and COVID-19, among other challenges.
Somehow, Nigeria's resilience has shown, and the choices that we make, particularly in agriculture, to ensure that we can feed ourselves, we can generate local employment, have been spectacular in helping us.
Not mindful of the present economic realities, he acknowledged that non-governmental organizations have now found government as partners in the state. The occasion was an interactive session where inputs were taken from members of the public. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Development partners in a warm handshake with the Policy Innovation Center of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group commits to promoting policies, programs, and projects that will put smiles on the faces of Nigerian women. This was at a Gender and Inclusion Summit in Abuja. Over now to Benny Adams.
3 women and never had any problem.
It's really a complex thing. 3 meals is not the top problem. It's really hard to move on to the next phase in life.
These are echoes of inclusion. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the European Union, Britain, and the United States all united in the advocacy for women empowerment in Nigeria.
Development depends on harnessing the economic power and equality of women and girls, and Nigeria has not yet reached that potential.
By 2025, 85% of all external activities of the European Union should contribute to gender equality and women's empowerment.
We'll continue to support Nigerian women in their efforts to have greater productivity, economic diversification, and income equality.
When there is equal access to resources and opportunities, and when gender-sensitive policies are tailored to the needs of all, that is when we can say for sure that we live in an equal society.
Conversation extends to rethinking faith, culture, and legal issues around gender-based violence, financial inclusion, and exploring multi-sectoral pathways for women inclusion in everyday business. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
We are still talking women as the National Center for Women Development has commenced the training of 115 women and girls to bridge the gender gap in men-dominated skills. Director General of the center said the idea is to mitigate the challenges of unemployment and stimulate growth through women economic empowerment. Ngozi Technikil reports.
Over the years, certain skills have been considered more appropriate for men and as such were never attempted by the women folk. To change the narrative, the National Center for Women Development, in partnership with Development Research and Project Center and other CSOs, are expanding the intellectual capacity of these women in generator, refrigerator and air conditioner repairs, POP, tiling and plumbing, among other skills.
And I want you to justify the reason why you are here, and that is to empower you as a woman and to improve your livelihood.
And at the end of the course training, they will be given the Grade 3 trade test certificates, which qualify them to be engaged, to be employed in any construction industry in Nigeria as artisans.
Aside promoting social inclusion and gender development in the building and construction industry, the DG gives other advantages the women have with the skills compared to the men.
There are houses that men don't allow women to enter. So we need to have our females into that area also, so that they have access to some of these homes that men cannot enter.
The RPC believes that, the more women are empowered, and especially economically, the further that we can get as a society.
The 2 weeks training also featured the launch of menstrual health hygiene for women and girls. In Abuja, Ngozi Technikil, NTA News.
And it's time to take some messages. Nationwide returns shortly.
Daria Media, in association with Kebbi Entertainment, presents The Candidate, a presidential town hall meeting series where the presidential candidates of the 6 leading political parties tell us about their plans for the country. Join Kadaria Ahmed as she leads us into the world of these candidates from the 17th to the 23rd of November 2022. This very important program will be streamed on FRCN, Radio Now, DSTV, NTA, Facebook, YouTube, and more. This is a town hall meeting you shouldn't miss. Tune in. Let's hear from the candidates.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement. terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Now, what could make someone set out on a journey and not get to his or her destination? Now, imagine the victim who cannot reach out to these responders, who doesn't even have the phone to reach out. Hello, thank you very much for joining us on platform. I'm Ruth Agwe.
And the girl, especially if the girl is a minor, she's not yet 18 years, if she gets pregnant, realize that such girl is sent out of school and the boy is left in school.
Just park to pick the call.
So how much sensitization is there, Paris?
I don't agree. A lot of people are just deaf.
Thanks for rejoining us to Agriculture Now. The federal government has introduced a livestock tracking system with a view to addressing social and economic challenges associated with animal breeding in the country. Musa Baba Ali reports that animals such as cattle will have special passports and identification tags, as well as numbers for easy traceability.
Living without a trace is a major challenge facing farmers, pastoralists, and security agencies in a situation whereby animals are rustled or they destroy farms. Tracing animals in abattoirs to identify the breed and its origin is also a challenge to veterinary medical doctors. But all these might be a thing of the past if the proposed livestock tracking system is enforced. The system, which will be implemented by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, will ensure that each animal, especially cattle, is registered with forgery-proof air tags that will identify and track livestock across Nigeria.
The successful implementation of NAID will support livestock owners to identify their animals, curb livestock rustling, facilitate interventions in livestock sector, provision of credit and insurance, livestock movement control, animal recording for genetic improvement and research.
Considering the numerous benefits that have been highlighted of this project, not the least the promotion of peace and security, it is imperative that we as leaders and stakeholders in this process work together to ensure that the project is effectively implemented.
Sensitization of the program has already commenced in Bauchi, Edo, Enugu, and Lagos. Other states are Katsina, Niger, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, and FCT. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
About 100 farmers in the north central and northwest of Nigeria have been trained on production of organic fertilizers and other eco-friendly agricultural technologies to boost their yield. The workshop, which is at the instance of the Department of Farm Input Support Service of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, is part of efforts to checkmate the rejection of Nigerian produce in the international market. Abdullahi Suleiman reports.
Organic fertilizer, due to its natural form, is known to provide nutrients to the soil and sustain growth of plants. It has also proven to be safer, cheaper, and easy to apply.
This has been done to encourage the private sector operators to invest in the development and production of inputs, particularly fertilizers, which are majorly made up of inorganic and organic.
The advocacy training therefore provides an opportunity for deepening the use of organic fertilizer among farmers from various food value chains to enhance bumper harvest through quality yield.
Apart from the affordability, can you get it at the right time? Can you get it from the right source? Can you get the right quality? And that is why we are here.
The farmers restated commitment to utilizing organic fertilizer through the knowledge garnered, as its materials are very abundant in the country.
Also, we just learned that using organic fertilizer helps us to fight this climate change that we are facing now. Poultry droppings are high in nitrogen content. So it's among those materials that will be incorporated into the farm waste.
When the initiative is fully in use, the agricultural sector has the potential to improve export, create jobs, and generate more revenue through economic diversification. In Suleja, Abdullahi Suleiman, NTA News.
Exposure to climate change impacts results in health emergencies, informing the World Health Organization's case for health financing in national climate adaptation plans. On NTA, Fine Face reports on these and other side events at COP27 in Egypt.
Initiated by the World Health Organization, this side event on health financing in climate change action plans seeks to include health impacts in climate change-induced environmental impact assessments. Experts believe that such considerations will build public health capacity in responding to medical emergencies associated with climate extremes.
Impact assessment reports, the health component is missing. Make sure that African countries institutionalize the issue of health impact in any project and program. Then also build capacity on health impact assessment. You need bilateral, multilateral, and foundation that's referred to Gates Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates, for example. You need to have that kind of funding. To achieve that funding, there needs to be national guidelines and also financing proposals.
Meanwhile, Nigeria is aiming to boost mangrove health and ecosystems by planting 5 million mangrove seedlings in the ongoing pollution remediation project in Ogoniland, a project said to require international support for implementation and scaling.
Mangroves are known as tropical plants that have 5 times the capacity of sequestering, removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. By restoring ecosanctuaries, mangrove ecosanctuaries, and replanting mangroves, we are actually contributing our own quota at mitigation of impacts of climate change.
Nigeria hopes to engage major polluters on their carbon footprints as a fallout of the climate change conference. In Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, on NTA Fine Face, NTA News.
And back home, digital technology as a tool has become handy in rebuilding Nigeria's northeast, devastated by insurgency. The National Information Technology Development Agency and Japan International Cooperation Agency are training 20 digital innovators who own startups in that region. Chimdimma Ndebisi reports that the outcome is expected to help address societal challenges resulting from insurgency.
Insurgency notwithstanding, these young Nigerians from the northeast have been able to deploy their digital skills in inventing solutions in education, waste management, healthcare, transportation, agriculture, and societal needs peculiar to that region. Muhammad, 28, from Bauchi State, developed a software application named Fifth Agro 7 years ago. It provides agro-based information and mechanized devices to more than 5,000 farmers, offering post-harvest online sales.
It's just like a software platform completely, but built for farmers in the rural areas. So that means it doesn't require an internet connectivity to work on. For example, it's just like a USSD application.
He wishes to expand his business scope to reach more than 200,000 farmers, helping them mitigate farming challenges in the area. So, he is here with 19 others for a 2-week training anchored by NITDA and JICA.
This program will provide a series of trainings such as business modeling, legal, accounting, finance, management, and even we teach some international business etiquette.
We remain committed to sustaining the tremendous growth recorded by our tech and innovation ecosystem, to continuously innovate and achieve their dreams of turning their innovative ideas into thriving enterprises.
More than 8,000 innovators applied for the training. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
In its continued efforts to bridge the gap of unemployment through acquisition of modern skills for the youth, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, is in Gwantu, Kaduna State, for the construction of a skill acquisition center. Suleiman Musa reports.
Technical and vocational skills will no doubt continue to empower the youths for self-reliance and prosperity. This flag-off ceremony of the approved construction of Naseni Skill Acquisition Center Gwantu, Kaduna State, if completed, is expected to impact the youth in different occupations and trades.
So with the establishment of this skill acquisition, of course, our youth will be fully engaged. That will also reduce youth restiveness. It will reduce the level of insecurity.
All occupational trade, especially those who used to outsource, and we have artisans coming from neighboring countries providing the services instead of our youth, will be available here. From automobile, mechanical, engineering, we are going to be beneficiaries because our children do not have to go down to the cities looking for employment. Employment has been brought back to us here.
This is one of many skill acquisition centers spread across the country by Naseni, as directed by President Muhammadu Buhari, to create chains of businesses with the youth as direct beneficiaries. From Gwantu, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
The University of Abuja is grooming students to be more grounded in research that can be impactful in societal development, aside the mandatory research, which is a component in the award of a degree certificate. This is the focus of the third undergraduate research day organized by the Center for Undergraduate Research of the university. The center seeks to promote research for students to nurture their potential in finding solutions to societal challenges.
Is to encourage the students to ensure that what we are teaching them is not out of the way. It is what is being done worldwide, so that at this level that they are, they should be able to reach out to mentors, bring out the ideas that they have, which they thought are nothing. Somebody will guide them, and in the end, they will bring out something that adds value to society.
Our goal is to key into the quadruple helix. That's the academics, government, industry, and the society to foster growth in our community.
Students at different levels undertook research and presented their findings. The present administration of the university established the center in its effort to broaden the minds of students as well as advance its mentorship program. The National Population Commission says engaging sister agencies is key to ensuring a transparent, reliable and credible 2023 population and housing census. The Federal Commissioner, Patricia Kupche, emphasized this during a capacity-building workshop organized in partnership with the National Orientation Agency to create awareness at the grassroots. Simbiat Agbaji reports.
As the 2023 Population and Housing Census exercise draws near, the National Population Commission has continued to engage various stakeholders towards ensuring a successful exercise. It is to this end that the MPC has organized a capacity building workshop in conjunction with the National Orientation Agency to sue for collaboration in providing accurate data and information.
We want to bring them up as to how they can deepen advocacy for the e-recruitment. So we want to be sure that National Orientation Agency and National Population Commission controllers in the respective local government areas are on the same page as to the message that they will send.
I want to reiterate again that we must not allow this project to fail. Already you know there are misgivings here and there. I want to prove them wrong this time around.
There were paper presentations on history of population censuses, technological innovation, enumeration area demarcation, among others. In Makudi, Simbiat Agbaji, NTA News.
Hajj stakeholders are in Abuja to review the 2022 exercise with its peculiarities, where a number of pilgrims missed the exercise, which is one of the pillars of Islam. The meeting is at the instance of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria to address the issues and the gaps. Abdullahi Musa Suleja is on standby with that report.
Moving contingent of about 100,000 pilgrims outside and back to the country is certainly not an easy task. Even though many acknowledged successes in 2020 Hajj, the exercise had challenges such as sluggish airlift of pilgrims, abandonment, and poor service provision in the Holy Land, among others, which the Commission attributed to late communication by Saudi authorities to Nigerian Hajj managers. These and other hitches formed part of the deliberations by the stakeholders.
The House Committee on Pilgrims Affairs will continue to work in harmonious relationship with both NAHCON and state CEOs to ensure Nigerian pilgrims get value for their money with world-class services rendered to our pilgrims in the Holy Land.
No organization can succeed without constant networking with the sister agency and other patrons whose supportiveness are indispensable in accomplishing superior results. As such, the Commission considers every party here present essential to its success. But the Commission carries the burden of ensuring that Nigerian pilgrims...
A communique is expected at the end of the meeting. Abdullahi Musa Suleja.
Over 100 referees and assistant referees from the north-central part of the country have undergone the quarterly FIFA fitness test for referees Thursday in Abuja in preparation for the new season of the Nigerian League.
It is a compulsory thing. Now, the latest amendment to the laws of the game must, since we are just starting our season, and this is the only time we can start applying those things.
As a department, to prepare the referees with all the necessary requirements to qualify them to handle all football matches.
Over 200 referees from all the regions in the country will take their turns on Saturday to undergo the fitness test. The main and local organizing committees of the first ever Abuja International Marathon have assured on delivering a world-class road race. They gave the commitment during the inauguration of both committees in Abuja.
All hands must get up to ensure that we make a big success of this event.
Ahead of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria Abuja Chapter Week, a new trophy has been presented for the Sports Week with emphasis on the importance of sport in all facets of human life.
There's a prize money for the cup, to let us say, the amount that has been told to use in redeeming the cup. So that any team that wins the cup, now the amount that has been pledged will be paid.
NTA won the first edition, won the second edition, and retired the third edition. Now is another trophy that he's presenting after that third win from NTA. It's a brand new trophy.
This 1 week will commence on the 19th to 25th with 6 sports events lined up. With Sports Update, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
And on a sad note, the death as a code of Shatima Mustafa, a former Minister of Agriculture, Defense and Interior. He died in the early hours of Thursday at his Abuja residence, with sympathizers seen in a mourning mood.
It's a very, very sad day for us. As we are saddened by his death following protracted illness, we are also hopeful because of the character he represented, the type of life he lived, the lives he has touched positively. We are hoping that as we are now sad, he is the happiest human being going to meet his Lord.
Dr. Shetima Mustafa was a very fine, accommodating, listening man. He was a community person. He could sacrifice his comforts to accommodate community interest. We will miss him a lot.
Dr. Shetima Mustafa's corpse, as at the time of this report, was being conveyed to his hometown in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, where he will be buried. He left behind his wife and 12 children. He died at the age of 82. And that's Nationwide today. We thank you for watching. Do join us here at the NTA as we fight rape and rapists. Thanks for watching. I'm Hawwa Salihu Adama.
Media, in association with Kebbi Entertainment, presents The Candidate, a presidential town hall meeting series where the presidential candidates of the 6 leading political parties tell us about their plans for the country. Join Kadaria Ahmed as she leads us into the world of these candidates from the 17th to the 23rd of November 2022. This very important program will be streamed on FRCN, Radio Now, DSTV, NTA, Facebook, YouTube, and mobile. This is a town hall meeting you shouldn't miss. Tune in. Let's hear from the candidates.
My name is Biko. And I'm Mana. And together we are Biko's Mana.
What is up, everyone? My name is Ricky Smith, and I am the writer and producer of the Sesame Street Friends theme song.
Hey, it's time to play. We're glad you came because we love to share.
It's been so cool working with Biko and Mana on this project. They've been incredibly professional, and obviously they're so talented. We could not have found better people to sing this song.
Hey, it's time to play. We're glad you came because we love to share. We love to sing, do brand new things with new friends everywhere. Let's have some fun with everyone because we love to learn together, making new friends forever. Instead of street friends.
Dario Media, in association with Kebbi Entertainment, presents The Candidate, a presidential town hall meeting series where the presidential candidates of the 6 leading political parties tell us about their plans for the country. Join Kadaria Ahmed as she leads us into the world of these candidates from the 17th to the 23rd of November 2022. This very important program will be streamed on FRCN, Radio Now, DSTV, NTA, Facebook, YouTube, and mobile. This is a town hall meeting you shouldn't miss. Tune in. Let's hear from the candidates.
This is the network service of the NTA. In line with His Excellency Nyesom Ezenwa-Wike's passion for the transformation of legal education and the repositioning of the judiciary at large in Rivers State, he requested for the approval to build a campus of the Nigerian Law School in Port Harcourt. Governor Wike made the request during the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a multi-purpose hall and 2 450-bed hostels for the law school campus in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State on June 4th, 2021. The projects were constructed by the Rivers State government. Governor Wike pledged to provide all the requirements needed by the law school in 6 months if the request for the siting of a law school campus in Port Harcourt is approved by the Federal Ministry of Justice and the Council of Legal Education. This pledge was made to the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Justice, who represented the ministry at the event in Yenagoa.
But let me throw a challenge to the chairman of the Legal Education, to the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Justice, and to the Director General of the Law School. Nobody should play politics with it. As a state government, I'm ready within the next 6 months to give you everything you want, everything that is required to establish a law school in Port Harcourt.
The federal government approved the request without hesitation. The letter of approval from the Attorney General of the Federation was brought to the governor in Government House, Port Harcourt.
May I grab your indulgence to, before presenting this letter, to read the contents of this letter? Our council meeting was on the 18th, which was a Friday. And on Monday morning, we forwarded our decision to the Honorable Attorney General. And on Tuesday, 22nd, this response came, and it addressed to the Executive Governor of Rivers State, Rivers State Governor's Office, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Attention, the Honorable Attorney General of Rivers State and Commissioner for Justice, Ray, offered to build a new campus of Nigerian Law School in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. I wish to notify you that my office is in receipt of a letter dated 21st of June with reference number NLS from the law school from the Council of Legal Education with respect to the offer by the Rivers State government communicated via a letter dated 4th of June 2021 with reference number MJHLE from the Attorney General's office to assist the Council of Legal Education in the establishment of a new campus of Nigerian Law School in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. My office, upon receipt of your letter, forwarded the same via Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary's letter dated 10 June 2021 for consideration by the Council of Legal Education. I am delighted to convey to you the acceptance of your offer by the Council of Legal Education and at its meeting held on the 18th of June 2021. A copy of approval letter and a draft memorandum of understanding to guide or govern the conduct of partnership project is hereby forwarded to you for your kind consideration and further action. This has been handed over to your Honorable Attorney General. Meanwhile, while appreciating the kind gesture of the Rivers State government in the promotion of legal education in Nigeria, please accept the assurances of my best regards and high esteem, as always. Abubakar Malami SN, Honorable Attorney General of the Federation Minister of Justice. Just copy to the
Governor Wike consequently promised to build the best Nigerian Law School campus in less than a year. The pledge was greeted with cynicism from some quarters. They thought it would be a white elephant project, considering the resources, time, and political will it would require to fulfill such a promise. 8 hectares of a very heavily waterlogged and saturated former campus of the Rivers State School of Nursing and Midwifery, Rumeme, was earmarked for the proposed law school project. The difficulty of the terrain was enormous and overwhelming. It was swampy, and some part of it was like an earthen fish pond with floodplain. These were some of the factors that led to the dilapidation of the buildings of the School of Nursing and the relocation of the tertiary medical institution to the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital. Many people asserted that it would be impossible to do any construction work there due to the aforementioned factors. But the relentless Rivers State government, ably led by His Excellency Nyesom Wike, engaged the services of competent and reputable indigenous contractors, and they were adequately mobilized. The old structures were demolished and massive reclamation was done on the swampy sections. The land was excavated, filled with over 50,000 cubic meters of sand, which translates to around 5,000 double-axle trips of sand, filled to about 1.5 meters in height, which is almost the height of a typical door, in order to make the terrain suitable for construction. This was done round the site before the raft foundation work commenced. The indefatigable Governor Nyesom Wike, who has a track record of starting and finishing gigantic projects in record time, kick-started the project with a groundbreaking ceremony on July 17, 2021.
It is effort-making and the landmark achievement which posterity will rate very highly in the history of Rivers State. When this project is completed in less than a year, as promised by His Excellency, it will go a long way to reduce the accommodation challenges which faced by Nigerian law school in 6 campuses across the country. It will also create job opportunities for hundreds of Nigerians, if not up to thousands, and now move to the foundation laying ceremony.
As of January 2022, roofing has been completed on all the structures and plastering commenced. The law school bypass was also constructed in between the school and the Riverside College of Health Science Technology, linking Ikwere Road and GRA to address the concern of accessibility to the campus due to the ever-busy Ajib junction of Ikwere Road. Some people started playing politics and attempted to effect a reversal on the approval the law school campus got. The Rivers State government sent a delegation to the National Assembly when the issue was discussed on the floor of the Senate. This prompted the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters to visit the project site, where they marveled at the magnificent edifices they saw on ground. They approved it and described it as the best in the country, and declared that the Port Harcourt campus of the Nigerian Law School has come to stay.
As members of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, who are here on an oversight visit. This is one oversight visit that is truly worthy of our time and attention. If anyone had listened to His Excellency or any of the 3 senators representing Rivers State telling us how much money had been sunk into this project, there's no way you would have truly appreciated the weight of such a claim without being here. And I want to say that from what we have seen here, we have no doubt whatsoever that a campus of the Nigerian Law School in Port Harcourt has come to stay, truly so.
The plot against it died a natural death. 10 months after the groundbreaking, the Nigerian Law School, Dr. Nabo Graham Douglas SAN campus, Port Harcourt, is not only a reality and ready for use, but the best among the best. Built for excellence, it is the one and only self-sustaining Nigerian Law School campus. Yes, you heard that right. The Wike-led administration built it to be self-sustaining. All the properties along the school fence on the GRA axis were acquired by the Rivers State government for the law school to enable it to generate revenue to maintain and service the world-class facilities put in place.
So the duty I have is how other people, or they rent it, make money and sustain the schools.
His Excellency Governor Nyesom Wike handed over the certificate of occupancy of the adjoining properties to the Council of Legal Education.
On behalf of the government and people of the state, most thank the chairman and his team for the Council of Legal Education coming here today to have a final inspection of the campus also in Port Harcourt. This opportunity to also present the certificate of occupancy of the property. We try to be part of the campus for the purposes of taking to this campus.
This is in addition to the monthly 10 million naira grant that the Rivers State government will be giving to the school for the next 4 years to maintain the high standard already set. The chairman of the Council of Legal Education, Chief Emeka Ngige, described it as the 7th wonder of the world during the final inspection of the law school project.
An inspection visit that we came for, it's not the opening ceremony, it's not the handover ceremony. It's a short visit to inspect the facilities. If I tell you that we are not short of words to describe what we have seen here, then we are lying. Because what we have seen here is amazing. Is it the 7th wonder of the world?
The school has 1,500 capacity classrooms block with lifts, hostel blocks for 1,638 students with 3 students to a room, well-furnished 16 units of 3-bedroom flat staff quarters with a swimming pool, gymnasium, lawn tennis court, and a lounge, moot court, sick bay, admin block, multi-purpose hall, sport facilities for students, library, cafeteria, internal roads, street lights, a 40,000-gallon water tank, a dedicated fire station, 3 power generators of 1,000 kVA each, and a 2.5 MVA substation. The law school buildings and premises are also equipped with CCTV systems for effective security. The project was completed on schedule in 10 months and without any cost overrun nor variations, and with the specified quality. This was achieved by the strict supervision of our indefatigable governor, who also ensured that the contractors were promptly paid. The Nigerian Law School Dr. Nabo Graham Douglas SAN Campus, Port Harcourt,